We're starting this beautiful breakfast dish with one loaf of bread of your choice, and then we cut off all the crust. Now put those crusts aside, don't get rid of them. Bring in a bowl, add 6 eggs to a bowl. Then in that mixing bowl, we're going to add 1 cup of milk. And then along with the cup of milk, we're going to go 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream in with the milk and the 6 eggs as well. Next, bring in some vanilla. Using pure vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon, add in with the eggs, the milk, and the cream. Then get whatever instrument you like to use and whip those together nice and thoroughly. Get it nice and smooth. Make sure it's all blended up perfectly. Once you get a good blend going, it's nice and whipped. Let's put that aside. We're going to bring in 1 stick of melted butter in another bowl. Then add 1 cup of brown sugar to that melted butter. Again, get out your stirring device and get it nice and stirred up. Get that butter, that brown sugar mixed up so there are no lumps or clumps. And there we want this nice and smooth. It's going to come together pretty fast. It's not too challenging to get that mixed up. Put that off to the side for a second, and we're going to bring in 11 by 13 glass casserole dish. Let's take our butter and brown sugar mixture and pour that into the bottom of our casserole dish. Pour it on all over. Make sure you get it nice and even. Let's get all that delicious brown sugar, buttery goodness out. Then take your mixing device, and now we're going to turn it into a spreading device. So we're going to take that fork once I get all that brown sugar mixture out of there, and we're going to just evenly spread it on the bottom of our dish. Make sure you get it nice and even. You want every last bite of this breakfast dish to be just as tasty as the next, and that means we need all that spread out. So bring back in our bread now. We're going to start with those pieces that have no crust, the removed crust, and evenly put them right in the middle there. Then remember those crust pieces. Let's get those little thin slices as well. Don't want to waste any space or any of the ingredients in there. We're going to bring those in. Now I'm going to quickly, magically place them on the sides so we get lots of tasty bites. Oop, got some on my thumb. It's too good not to take a taste of that brown sugar. Okay, so now we got our batter. We're going to pour our vanilla, egg, and dairy batter all over this bread. Then take your spoon and whatever you want. If you want to use a spatula, you can use that too. I'm not going to judge you. Whatever you're most comfortable with. Just get that batter all spread out. We want to soak up all that bread, or use that bread to soak up all the batter to come together to make a delicious soaked French toast dish here. So we're going to get the last bit of that batter out. Use my spoon. Make sure we get it all on there evenly. Don't leave any of that bread dry. Make sure it's nice and wet and soaked in that mixture. Then bring in some cinnamon. Now just sprinkle that cinnamon on top. Can you just imagine how good this smells right now? I'm so excited to get this going. It's going to take a little patience. Now from here, we got a good amount of cinnamon on there. Now let's bring in that bread, and we're going to put bread another layer on top, just like so. We got it nice and filled up there as much as we can, and then bring the batter back in. Now let's get all that batter on there and repeat the process. Take your spoon or your spatula or your fork or your knife, whatever you're most comfortable with. Spread it on out, just like that. Almost done. Just want to make sure my bread is all nice and soaked, absorbing all of that delicious mixture. Almost done. And then one more time, we're going to spread that out there. Bring the cinnamon back in. Get that cinnamon and give it some shakes all around so we get that tasty cinnamon flavor on every piece here. Okay, so now once we get the cinnamon evenly spread there, bring in some plastic wrap, saran wrap. Get a nice big piece. Don't get it all twisted up. How do you keep it from getting mangled like this? Oh well, we'll get it straightened out here. All right, ready to spread. I want to get it on there nice and tight. So now it's airtight and ready to move on to the next step. Can't wait. Now this is gonna go in the fridge for 12 hours and I'll see you in the morning. Sleep tight. Let's open it up. Look at that. Fantastic. Our bread soaked up all that French toast batter. Just perfect. It's already starting to smell wonderful. Now we're just gonna cover it up with some aluminum wrap. We're gonna go in the oven at 45 minutes, 350 degrees. After the first 30 minutes, we're gonna take off the wrap and let it cook 15 more minutes, uncover. We'll see you then. Oh baby, it's been 45 minutes. Look at that. Nice and fluffy. That's fantastic. I can hear it sizzle. Can you hear that sizzling? Just what we want. Let me carefully walk this over to the cooling rack. I'm gonna place it down, let it cool off a little bit before the taste test. What a great morning it's gonna be. All right, it's cooled enough. We put it on the counter. Still a little bit of sizzle, but I gotta do it while it's still a little piping hot. Let me get a slice right out of the middle there. So soft and tasty and aromatic. Beautiful. All right, this smells incredible. What a great breakfast this is gonna be. So I'm just gonna add some delicious maple syrup. Mrs. Buttersworth, the best, right? You could also add powdered sugar. You could be creative. If you want to go low carb, you can make this with like some keto toast and then use like this Truvia brown sugar instead of regular brown sugar, and then Lakanto low carb syrup too, to make it as low carb as possible. Spectacular.